Fred, first of all, let the people know, like, who are you? What do you do? Like,
my name is Fred. Full name Frederick Philp Jr. I am a professional actor, as well as a music producer and songwriter. And yeah, I'm from Somerset, New Jersey, state of Jersey.
All right,
You got some
Jersey
dope
strong.
beats, man.
Jersey-
Oh, shout out to the Jamaican roots out there. Boom, boom.
Oh, wait, somebody did that
Wow.
to me. They're like, whoa. I was like, what's that?
You know what was
I
going on?
Barbados? What are you saying?
Barbados.
Barbados.
Oh, man. Originally, my first question, what is creating to you? How do you define it? Like, what is it?
So creating to me is when you are, making something from scratch. Building something from the ground up. Yeah, either you're building it yourself or you're helping someone or helping to put it together.
Okay.
That's what it is to me.
I agree wholeheartedly. I feel like creating is, in its infancy, is you taking whatever creative passions in your head or whatever whatever you have an affinity to do, even if it's not at a high level, and just translate it into a physical being. That even plays into our next topic where we're talking about crafting and experience. Like, how long have you been personally creating? Like, how long have you been at it?
I've been creating for 14 years.
Wow.
Yeah, so
Wow.
14 years of like making beats.
That's half somebody's life.
That's more than half of mine.
That's more than half.
Yeah, I started off in middle school. Making beats. I had my boy Garan. Shout out to Garan wherever you are in the world. We was just making beats off of this FL Studio. I think it's like FL Studio 3. It was dumb young in the game, and we were just making it off the demo version. I had to keep the computer on because you didn't want to lose the files or anything. And yeah, we used to write songs, write raps, write poems, write all this stuff, and then finally, it took about maybe 10 years into it for me to finally have the bravery to find an artist to work with and to get my stuff out there.
That's big. Like, I always, like, anytime when you're creating, that first, I guess, time you put yourself out there, I feel like it elevates you to a different level. It's like, this is when I became, like, I guess a creator. This is when I found myself.
Yeah,
exactly.
Like, even according to what you're saying, like 14 years, I can't even fathom that. Like, I probably say realistically creating, and like sometimes I even struggle with the word creating. Like, I don't know, like I'm very iffy about things like that because I see some other people out there creating, and it's like, am I putting the same work as they are? Am I putting the same effort into it?
Yeah.
Like, I can't call myself a creator if I see someone else doing what I'm doing 10 times as hard, because I feel like it's bringing impurity to the craft or to the I guess the label of a creator.
Yeah.
So,
I guess that's what we talked about last video. Like, if you haven't watched it, I don't know what you're waiting for. But I think, like, I really don't know.
You're not living right.
Like, you're not. But like what we talked about in the last video, like staying in your lane. You know what I mean? Like, when you really understand that it's a struggle. Like, starting off creating, because people could really start talking about creating and apply that to like sports, like, or gifting. Those are kind of like different. You know what I mean? So but creating, as far as like, what are you taking what you have? Like, if I'm playing soccer, I'm not creating. You know what I mean? I'm applying my gift.
I mean, some would.
See,
What I'm creating is for example, a style, a move, a tactic of, because creating is necessarily awareness. It's like understanding a style.
Yeah.
We're not the first to make music, right?
No.
They used to play tambourines and harps back then.
or even the first person to beat their chest and make oohs.
Exactly. So, but now I do mine differently. That's creating.
Yeah.
So I play soccer and I know my way of playing. That's creating. But like, it takes you that moment of you playing to a certain extent where you're like, oh, I think that's when people are like, oh, I know my style now.
Yeah.
Now I don't gotta compete with anybody else. Now I know where I fit in. So in that sense, it could go even into writing and dressing. Like, everybody wears clothes, but you come to a point where you're like, yo, I know my style. I can actually create a style right now. That's creative.
Okay, look,
You know what I mean?
bring it back to this a little bit though. So think
All
about
right.
this. You said creating, and like sometimes sports are not generally creating in essence, right?
Like in essence, yeah.
But then, so all right. So even moving on to our next topic, what would you guys define as your inspiration that made you create?
My inspiration started from just all the artists that I loved and grew up on, like Michael Jackson, Jay-Z eventually became an inspiration of mine. Michelle Branch, Quincy Jones, Will Smith. Like Will Smith was the person that made me want to go from just trying to figure out how to be a musical artist into becoming an actor, because just watching his career, just knowing that was okay for him to move like that.
Yeah.
So that to me was amazing to watch. That inspired me a lot. But then as I got older, my inspiration started to change. My inspiration started going more so to life experiences, and then also some of the difficulties in my life with my family and with friendships, and those were the things that was just like, not this. You just made me angry. Now I want to go and write the most disrespectful 32 bars I could ever think of in my life, right?
Oh man.
So yeah, it became like it shifted from people that I idolized to actual things that was going on in my life. I read a book about how we shouldn't necessarily take past experiences and use those past experiences on stage necessarily, but even taking some of those past experiences and finding new ways to relate to it, so that way I can tap into those emotions, and then bring that out on stage. Those things keep me inspired. Just everyday life, watching people walk around, going to a restaurant, and listening to the craziness that people talk about. You know, it inspires me to do everything. Really,
I get that. To bring it back to the title of the show, Creating While Christian, like we were even discussing, a lot of the things we said, like can't remember one being solely based in church, and like that's a struggle we face as creative Christians. So when we think about it like this, in that retrospect, do you guys think, or in anything, do you think your creative talent or your inspiration or just your ability to create, do you think it's invested or embedded in God? Like, do you think God had any, I guess, effect on how you've come to where you are now, like in any way?
Yes, wholeheartedly.
Absolutely.
Like, I don't, the funny part, I always think about, I love Michael Jackson. Let's throw that out there. Rest in peace, Michael Jackson, Jesus. Well, Mike, he had this one interview where he talked about, he doesn't really know, like they were confused as to how he could be so shy in person, but then be like this feisty person on stage, right? And in this interview, he says, you know, I don't know what it is, but it's just something. It's like this gift from God that just puts me in this mode to be Michael Jackson, the shy, childlike human being, to now be on stage and be like the stage master that can wow everybody. And I look at it as the same thing with my gifts and my talents, my abilities. Like, I don't really know how I even came about to even want to try making a beat one day, but I did it, and then I went into this realm where I was like, okay, I made one beat, now I want to make another beat, now I want to make another beat, now I want to make a song, I want to make another song, I want to act, I want to get on stage, I want to perform, I get to perform, and it's like, it becomes a cycle of just, I don't really know exactly I don't want to say, I don't know the source, but I know the source is beyond me. Like, and there's no way that I could have like developed this out of me on my own. And it's only through God that was able to tap into those realms and be able to use myself as an instrument.
That's big.
I think that's why I kind of like, remember what we were talking about, I kind of mentioned like we were never the original creators. Like, even when I was talking about myself, like I was like, I don't know. Like, we would never know. It's like God is like a whisper in our ear. Like when he created us, he left that gift inside of us. Like, it didn't start with us. It started with him.
Yeah.
So as being a creator, when you create something, you give him ability to, like you said, it give us the ability to procreate. I think, and I believe, absolutely believe that every single thing or every single creative ability comes from God.
Yeah.
Like
Okay.
the idea, the inspiration, the everything, it comes from, and then He gives us that and it allows us to kind of like put it into shape. You know, like
Yeah.
I think T.D. Jakes said that God created a tree, we turned the tree into furniture.
Even to like play off that, I do think all of our creative goals, our creative gifts that God, He like gives us the ingredients, and it's like, think about it, when you're making a cake, you can't make cake without eggs, flour, milk. So I feel like God provides us the ingredients, and then we make these gifts, we turn them into and we translate them into things that are tangible that we can see, like music or dance and stuff like that. So then, even moving forward now, like when you think about like God's involvement in everything, right? And we're utilizing this now to achieve a new level of gifts and goals and dreams. What are you guys' creative goals? Like when you, at the end result of the end game, like your end game, where do you see yourself? Like where you can say, okay, I've achieved a level of success that I'm somewhat comfortable with, like maybe not even way down the road, maybe next week, maybe a couple months. Like where is your goal? Where do you want to go with what you're doing?
Honestly, that's something I struggle with. One of the things that I know I want to do eventually in the future is be able to have an impact, a direct impact on the next generation, right?
Okay.
And I want to be able to help craft these talents and help them develop and become amazing people, like in writing or within acting or within music, wherever. I just want to help. I want to create this station that's just a creative hub for a bunch of people for them to develop their talents, right? But other than that, I don't know. Like I know I want to keep making music. I know I want to keep going on stage. I know I want to do more things in film. But it's been such a struggle of trying to figure out, okay, what is the thing? What is it going to be? What is the some people will call it the price tag, or what is the thing that makes me say, all right, I made it.
Yeah.
And I think I'm out the game. Like honestly, I don't have that yet.
Yeah.
I'm still searching for it.
Yeah.
As we all are.
Yeah.
I think we're never gonna find that. You know why I said that? Just to take it back to the Bible. You know, we're Christians, right? Bible says in Ecclesiastes 3, I think 11, that God, He put eternity in man's heart. You know what that means? That we aim for this, like there's something deep down in our hearts that craves for eternity. Means that we would never truly be satisfied by what we get in this life. So there's never going to be that point where, for me, I know for a fact I want to get to a point where my goal is to see what I create impact people. That's it.
Yeah.
But there's never going to be that point where I'm like, I've made it. Which is the reason why creativity, like we said, is so beautiful. There's no limit to it. Literally, it's the point. It's the struggle to kind of like understanding where you were called. Because I feel like clarity helps creating.
Yeah.
When you're more clear as to what you were in, what you're actually doing. This is no longer about like, this is what lane I'm in, as well. I'm in music or I'm in producing.
Yeah.
This is just saying I'm actually understanding what my craft is, what creating is. So like, this is why we do this video, so we can talk about these things and you guys can get to discuss this on your own and comment what you guys think and just, hey.
Well, I mean, I hope you guys got a little bit more in depth about the dynamic of creating versus craft. Thanks again, Fred, for coming in, man.
Appreciate you, man. This is Fred. Don't forget to follow him.
You know, check him out, man.
Euro_Prince.
Right here.
I'm BK. What do you want me to put you
on? Follow me. I'm pretty much everywhere. FredPhilpJr.
Just follow.
Everywhere.
All right. Thanks for tuning in to Creating While Christian, and we will see you next week.
Peace.